Oh, my mom or my wife, well, they're both the same person. A little earlier, I was lying down, and she had a good point. She said, "At least you didn't turn out bad. On the contrary to some, uh, you did turn out good, and the whole world would be very proud of you deep down, no matter what. And she said, just because you come from a royal family doesn't mean they're royal. She said, look at the difference. Who did more for their people. Uh, and she said, suggestion so me and him can hear that no matter what they raised, they brought in a good son. That both my parents should be proud of what I became. So I was like, at the end of the day, that meant a lot to me. And so forth. There were just discussions with my wife earlier, like how I would need more than 4 wives because I last too long in bed. Even my wife says that I need more than 1 wife because I last too long. She said, "No offense, sweetie, but you last too long. I need help. I need help from another woman." She said that, laughing. I'm like, oh, okay. That's not necessarily a bad thing, is it? With all kidding aside, I want to tell the team a big thank you for all the hard work, and especially at the times where I was angry or not myself, my right shoes, the right state of mind. I'm sorry about some of the stuff I said the other day, and I obviously I want to say thank you. Not everything is finished, but I feel like there's progress, right? I take things at heart too much. That's something I need to learn to better control. I get emotional very quick for good or bad reasons, right? I definitely need to learn better control my emotions. That's one thing that I have to deal with. But at the same time, it makes me genuine. It does make me at least genuine. What you see, what is where you get with me, right? That's one thing I'm glad about me is at least I don't hide my true emotions. What you see is where you get out of me, right? Would I be a good double agent? No. I'm way too honest to be a double agent, or I would straight up tell people, I'm a secret agent or whatever my job is. I work for this entity in the government or whatever, and this is my role. This is what I do. I would not hide, and that's why I would not be a good GTF2 member, like a shock troop. Because I can't necessarily lie, it's not in me. Like living a double identity, I'm already doing it, but I'm not sure I would be able to hide it. You know what I mean? So that's one thing. I do realize that it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing depending on the situation. So I need to work a little on myself. No doubt. But the same time, like one of the girls said earlier, she wants me to talk more to the world about my research and my inventions, and she doesn't want me to hide in my bubble, and so it's kind of cool at the same time. I might be one of the only GTF2 members that can actually say he's in GTF2, right? At least publicly. Other members normally would be quiet. No one's wouldn't be. Oh. It's really warm in here. Some of my research ended up bankrupting most pharmaceutical companies or companies that were involved with providing Medicare in the States. That's why their coverage is now low and their pills are cheap, because they went bankrupt. That's the only way some of the Americans could afford their fucking prescriptions is if the pharmaceutical companies actually went bankrupt. How do you think that makes me feel? Overall, that's like, ew. Jeez. And companies were all piggybacking on each other on this principle, making a profit off of the deaths of people in the States. And I don't want to say the U.S. citizens are ignorant or stupid, but they were only going with what they could afford or what was offered, right? It's not their fault. So it's like, really? I would have imagined some minor setbacks, coming out with this technology. I would imagine some setbacks, but a whole country going bankrupt on this principle that you provided top of the line Medicare. One invention, I bankrupted all of you, and I'm not happy about it either. Actually, I'm furious for the American people. Their money's not worth anything right now. It's one thing, being offered $20 million for a machine, but what can I use your money for? Am I going to be able to actually buy something back from you down the road if I need it? You know what I mean? That's the thing, right? So